Do you want to excel in maths and science? If your answer is yes, then let me tell you go ahead with Infinity Learn courses. And to get best discounts, subscribe right now. The link is given below in the description box. Hello my dear students, welcome to the channel. So as you all know that I am Divya, your science expert, and today in this video we are going to discuss very important things, and what we are going to do is human eye defects. As you all know that human eye is a naturally occurring optical instrument. It is one of our sense organ, right? And it gives us the sense of vision. It produces sense of vision. So whatever you can see around yourself, whatever beautiful world that you can see around yourself, that is just because of these pair of eyes. So we all have a pair of eye in us, which enable us to see everything happening around us. All beautiful things that you can see is just because of this naturally occurring optical instrument. But you know that there are few eye defects also, and these eye defects are very common among people. So what common eye defects are there? Let's discuss that. So common eye defects are myopia, hypermetropia, cataract, night blindness. So today we are going to discuss all these four common eye defects. So before we go ahead, you should know about accommodation of an eye. So what do we mean by accommodation of an eye? See, when you wish to see something far off, or if you wish to see something nearby, then we we have to adjust our lens accordingly. Now why this adjustment is required? This adjustment is required so that appropriate amount of rays should enter into your eye, so that the image which is formed on retina should be clear, and it can be easily detected by brain. Right? We want the image to be very clear. It should not be blur. Right? So for that, accommodation is very important. So how can we define accommodation? I'll write here and you can also note it down. Accommodation is ability of an eye lens to adjust its focal length in order to obtain clear image on retina. Okay, it's an ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length. Focal length means the distance between the object that you are seeing and your lens. So ability of an eye lens to adjust its focal length, right, in order to obtain clear image on a retina. It is called as an accommodation of an eye. Now how eye lens will adjust its focal length? See, this is lens. It is held by ciliary fibers, or you can say ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles are holding the lens. So ciliary muscles help lens to adjust its focal length. Right? To adjust its focal length. Now how it helps, I'll tell you. So this is definition, you can note it down. Ability of an eye lens to adjust its focal length so that clear image is formed on retina, which can be recognized by our brain. Now how ciliary muscles help? See, in case you want to see far off objects, means the objects which are not close to you, they are far off. So in order to see far off object, ciliary muscles, lens and focal length, all the three things, they undergo a change. Right? So first thing that will change is the change in the ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles relax. If you wish to see something far off, ciliary muscles relax. Now when ciliary muscles relax, what happens? The lens become thin and elongated. It becomes like this, thin and stretched, elongated, due to which its focal length increases and it can, it can form clear image on retina, because the rays converge properly on retina and clear image is formed. So you need to remember that when we wish to see far off objects, ciliary muscles relax. Lens become thin and stretched, or you can say elongated. Third, due to which focal length increases. Now let's talk about when we wish to see something nearby. Nearby means the objects which are closer to you. So when you wish to see something which is closer to you, so in that case, focal length should decrease. Now how it will decrease? For that, ciliary muscles will contract, right? This is how, it occurs. Ciliary muscles contract, lens, it becomes thick and short. It becomes like this, thick and short. Like when you wish to see far off, it becomes like this, stretched. But when you wish to see closer objects, it becomes like this, thick and short. And as a result, focal length decreases. Now, the image formed would be particularly on retina, like every time it is formed on retina undoubtedly, but the image proper converging will occur and clear image will be formed. So you need to remember that when we wish to see nearby objects, ciliary muscles contract, lens become thick and short, due to which focal length decreases. So this is what is accommodation which is usually happening in our eyes, and it like the ciliary muscles contracting and relaxing, they are doing on their own. You don't have to give any instructions to them. So it's an autonomic control, like it occurs according to the whatever you are looking, it occurs automatically. So let's discuss about this first defect now, myopia. Now what is myopia? Let me tell you, the other name for it is short-sightedness. So short-sightedness means defect in which person is unable to see far off objects clearly. Short-sightedness means the person can see nearby objects clearly but cannot see far off objects clearly. It's not like that he cannot see far off. He can see, but the image is not clear. Image formed is not clear, it's blur. So we say that myopia is a defect where the person can see nearby objects very clearly, but far off objects cannot be seen clearly. Right? Now, what could be the reason? So there can be eye defect, that eyeball being too elongated. Right? Let me tell you, before we do eye defect, let me tell you one thing. See, here the person cannot see far off things clearly. Now, if he can't see far off things clearly, that means the focal length is not increasing properly. Though it is increasing, but not proper increase is there. Now, if focal length isn't increasing properly, that means our lens is not becoming properly elongated. There is some defect, right? There is, the shape of the lens is not proper. That is the reason focal length is not increasing. And why ciliary muscles, why lens is not becoming elongated? Because ciliary muscles, which were supposed to completely relax, maybe they are not relaxing properly. And that means there's an accommodation defect. Right? Means ciliary muscles are not relaxing properly, which is not making lens elongated properly, and due to which the focal length is not increased properly. So this we can explain that it's an accommodation defect. Now, what could be the eye defect here? So eyeball being too elongated or converging power of lens being too high. Now here, if the converging power of lens is too high, more converging power or high converging power means it will converge the rays before it reaches retina. So due to which the image formed is not on the retina, it is formed in front of the retina. Now if anything which is formed in front of the retina obviously will be blurred, right? And it cannot be identified properly by brain. So this is what is myopia. But yes, we can correct it by how? By using spectacles. And our spectacles should have concave lens, because here the eye lens has now, like due to this defect, the eye lens's converging power is more. So we have to decrease that converging power. So due to which in spectacles we have to use concave lens, which is diverging, which diverges the rays, right, before it enters our eyelids. Now when it enters our eyelids, it converges them properly and clear images formed on retina, which can be detected by brain. So in myopia patients, they can see clearly far off when they are wearing spectacles, but when they are not able to see far off clearly. Okay, another defect just opposite to myopia is hypermetropia. It is just opposite. Here in this case, the person is unable to see nearby clearly, but yes, he can see far off objects very clear, right? So it is called as long-sightedness. So now, if the person can't see nearby clearly, that means his ciliary muscles are not not contracting properly, right? This may be an accommodation defect, right? And if ciliary muscles are not contracting properly, that means lens is not, becoming thick and short properly, due to which its focal length is not decreasing properly. And that's the reason the person is not able to see nearby clearly. Right? So it's an accommodation defect that which should be there is not actually there. Ciliary muscles, they are not relaxing properly. So that's the reason focal length is not decreasing properly. Now what about eye defect? Eyeball being too short and converging power of lens being too low. Now if the converging power of lens is too low, that means it is able to converge the rays, but it is able to converge rays not on the retina, behind the retina. So that in that case, the image will be formed behind the retina. See, our eye can actually, our brain can recognize those images which are formed on the retina, not above or not, no, sorry, not in front, no, and or neither in front nor behind it. Okay, so that's the reason he cannot see clearly. So again, the correction is possible by wearing spectacles which have convex lens, because here in this case the person who is suffering from hypermetropia, his converging power of lens is low. So we have to increase the converging power, so that in that case the spectacles contain convex lens which are converging the rays, and then the eye lens is converging, and then it is converged properly and the image formed is on the retina, which can be detected by the brain. Okay, next talk about color blindness. See, color blindness is a defect where a person is unable to identify between different colors. Right? I told you that in retina we have two kind of cells, rod cells and cone cells. We have discussed already. Rod cells controls the intensity of light. Right? How bright or how dark is the image, it is controlled by rod cells. They respond to the intensity of light. And cone cells impart color to the images. So if a person is unable to differentiate between different colors, so obviously he has defective cone cells, right? So this is also one of the common eye defect. Now let's talk about cataract. You must have seen eye of few people's like this, something white, a white layer inside the iris, right? Or in place of pupil, you can say. So this is called as cataract. See, it's a normal eye and it's an eye with cataract. You can just make out a difference. It is having a black pupil, and here in this case it is having something white region. So cataract is a cloudy lens. Basically, it's a defect where the lens becomes cloudy. So a cataract scatters and blocks the light as it passes through the lens, preventing a sharply defined image from reaching our retina. As a result, the vision becomes blurred. Right? So in cataract, a hazy layer is formed on the lens, right? Which actually blocks the passage of the light through the lens. So one thing I would like to share with you, we have already completed the parts of an eye, and one thing I would like to tell you, Bache, that you can avail extra 10% discount. How? You can use this coupon code DE10. So by using this coupon code DE10, you can avail extra 10% discount. So with this, we have come to an end. I hope you have understood about all the defects that we have discussed. See, these are the common defects. You have to learn their definitions. You have to learn about the causes and obviously the corrections. So thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.